New York City has already welcomed 31,000 migrants while opening 60 emergency shelters to help handle the influx. But with the expiration of Title 42 fast approaching, things are certainly expected to get worse, as we've been covering. So Mayor Eric Adams is now seeking $1 billion from the Biden administration to help handle the expected new crush of asylum seekers. I do want to welcome back Niall Stanage, White House columnist with our partners at The Hill. Thank you so much, Niall. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Natasha.
And Niall, we know California Governor Gavin Newsom as well, saying that his state is about to break with the expected flood of illegal migrants when Title 42 expires. What do you think? Why do you think there is such a disconnect between Biden potentially and these Democratic lawmakers who are now standing up and saying we're expecting a tidal wave and we will not be able to survive this?
I think particularly in the case of Mayor Adams, it's because he is really at the business end of this decision. He is having to deal with migrants arriving in New York City. The city has to house them. It has to provide some kind of assistance to them so that they're not left destitute. And New York City unusually actually has a legal obligation to house people who show up there. So that's part of the reason. I don't though want to overstate the degree to which these people are breaking with President Biden. I have not seen, at least, Mayor Adams or Gavin Newsom say that Title 42 should be kept in place. Their concern is what happens on a practical level once it lapses, and how does one address that situation.
Appreciate it. Can you walk us through the history of some of this? I mean, Title 42 is a Trump-era policy, is that right? Was it always going to expire? And what are the optics for the Biden administration? Certainly all major news networks are covering this expected surge of migrants. And you do have even Democrats who typically support President Biden coming out and saying this is not potentially the right thing to do, that a surge is coming and we are not prepared for it. What is the history here, and what are the optics of it?
Well, the history briefly is that this is an old law that was, as you say, reintroduced during the Trump era. And what it permits is United States border authorities to more speedily than normal return people who would be, for example, seeking to claim asylum or seeking to come into the United States on any other basis. And it does so on the basis of a public health emergency, that these expulsions are required to protect public health. The reason the Trump administration was able to bring that in and withstand court challenge was because of the COVID pandemic. So, given all of that, and this goes to your point about optics, there was no way that it could be kept in force permanently. At some point, the rationale would clearly fade as the COVID pandemic has faded to some degree. The problem is that all of this happens at a time when the numbers crossing the border are so high, and when there is, I think, widespread suspicion that people are really gaming the asylum system. Not to say there aren't people in legitimate fear of persecution, I think there are, but the numbers are increasing at such a rate that they can't be explained purely by people with valid fear of persecution.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.